What good is making a lot of money if you don't keep it? It's Robert Kiyosaki. Hello and welcome to the Durham Talents channel. My name is Jesse Durham. For today's installment of our quote series, we're going to evaluate the saying from Robert Kiyosaki, Mr. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that what is the good of making a lot of money if you don't keep it? Now, when I hear that saying from Robert Kiyosaki, I immediately think of Nash's The Golden Rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. So let's look at that, because I can certainly remember different times in my life where I would earn something, and this could be whether I was landscaping as a boy over summers between school years, or what have you, just to be able to take my girlfriend, now wife, out for a steak dinner and a movie that night. And I could that was the instant gratification, right, of working and then going out that night. Or even later on in life, as I began as an adult to pursue careers and living paycheck to paycheck and just experiencing Parkinson's law. You know, when income rises, expenses seem to rise with income. And having gotten a lot of experience under my belt makes me think about this quote from Robert Kiyosaki, but also about what Nash said about Parkinson's law, and then ultimately the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. And I'm trying to emphasize that has word, right? Because it's he who has the gold makes the rules. Now, that's not to say that we should adopt this set it and forget it, this put money aside and don't touch it. See, banks themselves evaluate deposits as liabilities because they have to do something with those deposits, right? And they evaluate loans as assets because that's going to earn them profits. That's going to bring in interest. That's going to be a return of capital with profit. So they view that as an asset. So it's he who has the gold makes the rules. See, it's that position of strength. It's that position of ability and capability of having the gold. And that's just a saying that allows us to have, opportunities, that allows us to enjoy a certain amount of security and maybe even significance. When Kiyosaki says, what good is it making a lot of money if you don't keep it? That's so crucial. See, I talk to folks and often they'll want to focus on, what kind of rate of return am I getting on a policy? That's the wrong way of looking at it. The policy is, and I understand that thought. I mean, Nash addresses specifically rate of return in his book. So it's a natural question to ask. And I love getting the question, but we do need to look at that situation differently. What we need to be talking about is what Nash called the problem. Is we're trying to focus over here on how to improve a rate of return or a return on investment on a sliver of our cash flow instead of evaluating, how much money did you earn last year? Okay. How much did I earn last year? And how much do you have of that this year already? How much of that did you keep? See, the three rules of banking are pay yourself first, pay yourself with interest, and recapture that money. That way, that capital comes back into a system that you own and control. And that way, you're in that position of having the gold and making the rules. That way, you're in the position of not just making a lot of money and spending a lot of money. And spending money is fun. My wife will tell you, I enjoy spending money. But also letting our assets cover our expenditures, letting our assets cover our liabilities. And that's some Kiyosaki language that I'm using right there as well. But for sure, the best asset that I've found to be is a whole life insurance policy that's properly structured with a mutual company that pays a dividend. Because with that appreciating asset, that's a private asset that I own and control, I can address my need of finance in my life. I can address the banking function in my life. That way I don't just earn, but I can take those earnings, procure those appreciating assets, policies. My wife and I, we own multiple policies with multiple companies. We consistently build on our privatized banking system, and we'll continue to do so over the rest of our life and into our children's lives and grandchildren and on and so forth. I'm letting those assets pay for those liabilities that we have in life, no matter what that may be. Vacations that we take, business equipment that we buy, whatever the case may be. Vehicles in the driveway, so that we don't just earn money to lose it ultimately. We don't just earn it to spend it, but rather we get to keep it. So if you're interested in keeping the money in your family, in your business, or you're investing, and you'd like to have a conversation about how to implement the infinite banking concept, then you can reach me at 828-817-4223, or you can email durhamtalents@gmail.com. This has been a great pleasure for me. I look forward to our next conversation. Have a great day. Take care. So that's going to bring in interest. That's going to be a return of capital. I want my baby back. Ribs. Chili's, baby back. Ribs. You keep the money. I'll take the baby. Oh, that's not right. But isn't it? That's great.